Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Planet FPL Game Week 34 FPL Deadline Stream. Hope those teams are locked in. If they're not, I'm here to try and help where I can. First of all, for those joining in new, or for those who are regular, look what my man FPL Captain's done with the graphics. He is a superstar, isn't he? That's Captain with a K. Go and give my man a follow. And if you don't know me on Twits, my name's James. You can find me bottom right hand corner down there on Twitter. My team is locked in unless I get some serious news in the games that are happening at 6 o'clock, which I don't feature in, so it shouldn't bother me. My team, as you'll see on your screen now, is positioned top right. I know, Aymeric Laporte on the bench. I just think that of those that I've got in the team, from my 12, I think he's the most likely to be left out. And not many people have City defensively, so I'm probably not losing out if he does bang. You'll also see bottom right in the corner, top captaincy picks. Those are my choices of the 10 best captaincy picks in order for this game week. I'm hoping that's going to stop some of the repetitive captain questions that we get. If your player doesn't appear there, it doesn't mean you can't captain them. And also, you can obviously pick for yourselves. But that's my preference, top 10 in order. All the fixtures are running along the bottom as well. Let's get into the chat. Let's help some people out. See what we've got. This will be fast-paced, guys. Good luck. Clean sheet wipeout. Afternoon. Dilemma. Is it Maverick or just plain stupid to go from Salah to Sterling this week? Already own Mahrez and KDB. I'm completely in two minds. If you're in two minds, mate, don't do it. That would be my best suggestion on that. My instinct would be Mahrez, KDB and Sterling all start this week, by the way, and it could be absolute fire. I don't particularly see any reason why Salah or Mane wouldn't start again. But look, under this kind of intensity where Liverpool and City are playing 3 times in 6 days, they're all at potential risk. I'd suggest the City guys this week, in my opinion, a little less because obviously Mahrez and Sterling played an hour at Southampton Sunday night, and KDB obviously came on for the last half hour or so. So that would be my opinion on it. But if you're in two minds, it's Matt, then I would not make the transfer. I'd let it go personally. Gary Shepherd's in saying hi all. Auto Recluse, help, KDB or Bruno captain. Mate, you're a patron. You know what I'm going to say. KDB is the most comfortable I've felt about captain in absolute ages. Literally no doubt about it. Can Bruno Fernandes or anybody else outscore him? Yeah, of course. But I feel comfortable that FPL's top scorer is going to start this week against a Newcastle side that might have a few players missing in St. Maximin, Almiron, Lascelles, all doubts as well. And I didn't have any doubt about going this way before that news. So KDB, absolutely for me. Genuinely not a moment of doubt in my mind. But if you believe Bruno, go for Bruno. X360 Boss 3 took the free game punt on Deeney. Congratulations. His XG over the last 3 games from open play is exactly 0. Love it. That's targeting Norwich. Sam Atkins, hi. Should I take an 8-point hit to get Mason Greenwood in as I have to also transfer out Maguire? You're going to make that gain immediately? How quickly do you want those gains? Is Greenwood at risk of rotation? I don't think this Thursday and I don't think Monday. But in the upcoming weeks, you're looking for gains over a longer period than just 1 week because you're unlikely to make it immediately. I think the answer to that is probably no. I've got Maguire as well. Something I've debated, perhaps a -4, downgrade it. I could play Laporte, stick Martial in, and then I'm still stuck. Who the fuck do I leave out? So I'm leaving it. I would say, Sam, Greenwood has gone mental over the last 2 games. What's the chance of him hitting a 3rd in a row? He's capable, but probably not. Chris says, afternoon, James, getting a captaincy question out of the way, even though I know you hate them. I don't hate them, I just hate them when they're repetitive. I'm sitting at 500k and I'm considering captain Foden over KDB. Is it crazy? Please talk some sense into me. Nah, go for it, mate. You know my opinion. I've already said I'm on KDB, but if you really believe it, then go for it. I have to say, if I had an 11th on that list, it would probably be Greenwood and then Foden 12th, if that helps you at all. But it wouldn't be for me, personally. But if you're at that rank and you want to make serious gains, what's the worst that will happen? That's what you want to ask yourself. Are you bothered if you drop down to 700k? Is it more about the positive gain? If you think so, go for it, mate. Cole JB, afternoon all. Get liking the video. Thanks very much, Cole. Hello, Brad Lewington. Hello, Edwin Guan. FPL Dougal. Brad Lewington says, who do you think I should start? Bolly or Nketiah? Bolly, mate, against Sheffield United's attack. FPL Cobbler saying afternoon. Tom Hume, afternoon. James, guys, hello everybody. The one and only Smith. Here we are again, lads. Coming thick and fast. Thoughts on starting either Ori or Doherty this game week, please. I'd never leave out Doherty, mate. To the extent that, yeah, I see a banked Manchester City clean sheet on the table and I'm leaving Laporte out as it stands. FPL Twiggy, Gary Smith, George Jurich, Alex Tyke, thank you very much. Afternoon. So to Jack Wilson, FPL Dougal says, when is FPL Captain getting a pay rise? FPL Captain is not on the Planet FPL pay register. The only person who's fucking on that is me. Even Sir Jane on it yet. So, no, he's not in for anything. But I've spoken to him this afternoon. I've said to him more beers are on the way because it's good, isn't it? I need to do it the other way, don't I? It's the reverse for me to how you see it. But yeah, it looks quite cool, I think. All right, so the names of the players might be quite small, but I think you get the idea, don't you? It's quite cool. John Bailey says, hey, James, good luck for the game week. Hope you don't have too many captain questions. All the best. Joe Finley Badder, you're getting ignored. But I like you. Plenty of praise for FPL Captain from Gary Shepherd. Tom Hume says, hi James, I'm getting City FOMO with just KDB, but really struggling with which player to get in for Salah. Sterling, Mahrez or Foden? Who would you go for? Mahrez. Mahrez for me, yeah. What you might feel with that is an urgency to then spend the rest of the money, but I wouldn't. Leave yourself there, take some time to stake stock and reassess. Personally, I wouldn't be making the move from Salah to Mane this week to either of those guys. I understand what you're saying, and you can see there. I think the three big hitting City midfielders are the best choices this week from a captaincy perspective. But I probably, that said, probably wouldn't make the move. If you need to make it, Tom, my call would be for Mahrez. FPO Andy says, afternoon, James. Having a benching problem, who would you bench out of Jimenez or DCL? Oh, Jimenez and Doherty always fall into a line with me, but like just can't leave them out. That's how I feel. Like Jimenez, I'll be honest, I think Laporte will return against Newcastle, but I don't think Jimenez will return against Sheffield United. Yeah, I picked Jimenez because I just know that if Wolves are to do well, he's probably going to be involved, and that's my take on it. He's the man there at the centre of everything at the top of the pitch, so can't leave Jimenez out. Mind you, DCL against Southampton, going to be tired legs. That's not till Thursday, is it? So probably got the benefit of a little bit of extra recovery on Everton, an extra day. Obviously, was testing for them Sunday night against Manchester City, but can't leave Jimenez out. I've been in that place where I've left Jimenez out and it's burnt me last season. So I'm probably looking at that from the perspective of personal historical influence in my decision on that. But I mean, let's not get into the game last night. Everton was shocking, right? Rate those two teams. Spurs 5 out of 10. Everton about 2 out of 10. FPO Andy, afternoon, James. Having a benching problem. That's your question I've just done. Chris Durans. Hi, James. I'm happy with my team and still have a wild card. Any tips of when to use it? Have you got 3 hit left, Chris? If you haven't, I wouldn't be against using it in game week 38 if you're happy with it. Generally, that's not even the worst play. If you're really happy with what you've got and you think, oh, I don't want to go messing about with this and I don't want to waste it. If you haven't got the free hit, it's very unconventional and I would never advise it in a normal season, but we've been pushed into certain circumstances with COVID. I don't hate you using it in game week 38 if you're happy. Tyrell Maxfield, who is best? We're not doing captains, Tyrell. Have a look at the screen, mate. Andrew Martin, afternoon, James. Do you think Spurs could rotate against Bournemouth with North London Derby in mind? I think they could. I don't think they massively will. I'll answer the questions that people are possibly thinking. Ori Kane's son? No, I think they'll all start. Could they all get left out? Not Kane. The other two? Yes, possibly. Don't expect it. Still think we'll get beat either way, by the way. Emerald Pilot, afternoon, James. -4 to transfer out Salah, Cantwell to Pulisic / Mahrez or Foden. Gives you stronger there. Gives you stronger. I presume if you go that way, Emerald Pilot, that you're also then leaving someone else out of your team and putting them on the bench. The relevance to that question is quite important in terms of who would that player be, actually. Or just to look at it from sight, I would say yes. Do it. And it would go Mahrez over Foden, personally. Georgie Jurich, a.k.a. Spider-Pig87, hello. Salah tomorrow is okay for this game week 3 transfer? Yeah, it's okay. Ryan Henderson, I can do Salah and Wow, I thought everybody fucking loves Salah permanently. I can do Salah and Barnes to Pulisic and Foden for a bit of I can just do Barnes to Foden. What do you think? I just Barnes to Foden. Give yourself some headspace. One of the things I really think about Liverpool is imagine all these City guys play tomorrow. De Bruyne, Sterling, Mahrez, Foden, and I suspect they will. How are you going to feel going into game week 35 when they play again on Saturday and they've all played and you know, oh shit, which one's getting rotated this week? Well, Liverpool play at home to Burnley. Now we know, yeah, Burnley stubborn, but Burnley are the sort of side as you saw against Manchester City in game week 30. If they think the game's done, they'll save their legs. They ain't really particularly bothered. So I think when we get to game week 35, you're going to have the Salah and Mane fear again. That's what I think. And I think coming off in 36 might be a better idea for people looking at those sideways moves. Chris Ewers, big bench headaches this week, James. Start Ings or Jimenez. Start Pope or McCarthy. Definitely Pope. I know McCarthy's had a mental one on Sunday, but that's not going to happen often. He's an average goalkeeper. Not that Nick Pope's much better, by the way. But you can have more trust in Burnley. And plus, the FPL Twitter community just gets really hacked off with anybody that has Pope, so I really enjoy owning him at the moment. Start Ings or Jimenez? Oh, that's brutal. That's why, as you can see, I've started both. Find a different solution, Chris. Find a different solution. That's my honest answer to that. Patrick O'Meara, hi mate. Holgate knock has given me a dilemma this game week. Start Holgate or Nketiah. Probably Holgate, because I don't think he'll play anyway. Our Everton correspondent, Spirit Blues, was on our Patreon Slack channel saying that at some point Ancelotti was likely to rest Holgate anyway. He's probably one where if he gets left out, unless there's an injury, he's not going to come on the pitch anyway. So, yeah, I'd probably just go Holgate, actually. My instinct would be that Lacazette will probably play for Arsenal tonight, is my instinct. I've got no more knowledge on that than anybody else, but I think that's the one where they'll rotate and then they'll go full strength against Tottenham again at the weekend. And at the moment, full strength is Nketiah, by the way. FPL Dougal, should I start Rashford or Jimenez? Oh my God, how do you get in these positions? My gut says Jimenez, but everyone wants to bench him. Listen, if I see loads of people in the FPL community leaving out Raul Jimenez, brilliant. Because I know what's happening then. If I see a flood of teams where he's on the bench, he's definitely scoring. That's how this game works. Dougal, I genuinely, I don't think you can leave either of them players out. Simple as that. The same as what I just said to Chris Ewers. Find a different solution would be my advice. Take someone out the back line. Phil B, afternoon mate. Ings out for Greenwood. I'm quite content to keep Danny Ings at the moment, but if I had to make that sacrifice to get to Mason Greenwood, I probably would actually. Gravy Dave, do you reckon Foden plays? Yes, probably. One Noni Smith played 2 of Aurea, VVD, Doherty. It's not even a question, mate, honestly. It's not Aurea. Lamichi, afternoon, James. Which ones start out of Saish, Jota, and DCL? Have Doherty starting as well. Leave out Jota, I think, unfortunately. And you need to move that on, I think. You need to move that on. No problem, Matt. Liam H. currently at 700,000. Ran a poll earlier that decided Foden's my captain. Got to have some fun, right? Listen, if you put a poll on Twitter, expect Twitter to burn you. Good luck, mate. Edwin Guan, Maguire and DCL out for Mason and another defender of any price, or improve my midfield and getting Davis from Aston out. Well, Davis presumably is just going to sit on your bench, right? Playing Manchester United this week. I would potentially, Edwin, in that position, maybe make the one transfer to prioritise getting Mason Greenwood in and then reassess. That might be the best way to go. Ronan says, hi James, Laporte or Azpilicueta for the rest of the season. I prefer Azpi's upside, but I don't like the Chelsea fixture away to Liverpool in game week 37. Chelsea will let you down with clean sheets. They've got Palace, Sheffield United and Norwich yet. They look like banker-free clean sheets, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get any, because that's Chelsea. The upside of Azpilicueta is he's very capable. He's had 6 assists so far this season. So he can hit you the double pointer if it goes right, as it did at the weekend against Watford. I think he had a 12-pointer, didn't he? But Laporte, to answer the question. The only thing with Laporte is he's going to give you the headache every week. If he's going to play, he isn't going to play. But you're better locked in for the clean sheets, in my opinion. X360 box free. What do you think on me taking the free game punt on Deeney? Not keen, mate, to be very honest with you. I think that's just targeting Norwich. Ismid Jude. Hi, James. Thoughts on KDB triple captain? Or is there any other standouts you would save for it? Somebody DM'd me earlier today. I can't remember who it was, and asked me about the prospect of triple captain in KDB. And I said, quite honestly, if I still had the triple captain shit, I would use it on KDB this week. So I wouldn't be reluctant about it. You're at the stage now, there's 5 game weeks to go. What is definitely a better opportunity than the Kevin De Bruyne against potentially a weaker Newcastle who are not as strong defensively and will be more open than what we used to with previous Newcastle sides? What looks better than that? What can possibly be better? With Salah or Mane, it's this week or the weekend, isn't it, against Burnley? I think KDB today stands out better, or this game week rather, stands out better to me. If you're thinking Kane this game week, Jesus, jog on somewhere else. Remove that chip. And anybody else is just a gamble. You see something you particularly like? Aubameyang, Villa 37, Watford 38. I don't think so. I mean, if you still got it, I'd pull it. Jack Wilson, thoughts on Son and Rashford to Greenwood and Sterling after next week, after Spurs v Bournemouth? Well, use your eye test this week, Jack. Watch the games. See how you feel about those 2 players you're intending to sell afterwards. But I like it, generally. Yeah. Emerald Pilot, play double Wolves defence or bench 1 and play Egan. Nah, fuck it. Go all in. Play the 2 Wolves, boys. Marco Stankovic, Foden versus Mahrez till the end of the season. Mahrez for me. I mean, on the value is what Foden can give you additionally. But at the moment, particularly when it looks like so many are moving away from Liverpool, do you even need it? Surosh M says, downgrade Aubameyang or Jimenez for Greenwood. It feels like a good time to downgrade Aubameyang with the fixtures, Leicester, Tottenham, Liverpool. Then a very difficult FA Cup semi-final with Manchester City sandwiched in the middle as well. So you could well be looking at even game week 37. He might even be rotated against Aston Villa. Especially if they've got nothing to play for. Depends if he's in with a shot with a golden boot or not, right? So otherwise, you expect Aubameyang to play all the games, including that semi-final, you would think. I think, yeah, come off Aubameyang and then you've got some real power with the money. Eugene McGeever, what do you think of the drinks break in Premier League this season? Because David Moyes said the drinks break in Premier League is getting boring now. Of course it is. It was implemented for 2 reasons. 1, obviously, with the importance around COVID, keeping players refreshed. 2, the assumption was, it's fucking July. It's meant to be really hot. They forgot. This is England. It's not. I think a bit of common sense should come into play, but we don't really understand. I think even like Gary Neville saying it on commentary last night, don't really understand the implications of its importance and anything that it might be doing to help fight against COVID, right? If it's important for that it's shit, it's awful, but it's something we might just have to put up with, I'm afraid. It definitely isn't something that should still be happening next season, though, by the way. It's awful. You might as well just play 25 minutes or something. It's ridiculous. And it's affecting games badly. What was the game I watched on Sunday? And there was a massive swing in possession after the water break. Might have been the Burnley Sheffield United game, maybe. But certainly, it's having a big effect in terms of changing games. It's basically an extra half time without the longer break. Abhishek Dutt, triple captain KDB this week. Psh, go for it. Pull it, mate. FPL marking Kyoto. Start Kiko, Femenia or Sayis. Oh, I'd have more trust in Wolves. That's the thing. I'd have more trust in Wolves. But I can understand the temptation there with Femenia. Auto Recluse, where's Foden in that top 10? I said he's 12th, mate. Jack Wilson, best 3 City attacking assets. The top 3 on the list, bottom right. Ben O'Connell, start Jimenez or Hings. Hings. Find a different solution. Generally, take one of your defenders out. Wang King, trying to break into the top 10k. I have no Chelsea cover. Jimenez out for Giroud or Salah to Pulisic. I don't like either of them moves. I definitely don't like the Giroud move, personally. You'll blink and Abraham will be back in the team. Frank Sherman, good afternoon, mate. Pope or McCarthy? Pope, start this week. Will bench Jimmy or Foden violating the don't bench, don't captain rule of yours, but feels right. Frank, if it feels right, do it. It seems like there's a theme here of people wanting to bench Raul Jimenez. That if people feel strong enough to do it, do it. You know the risk when you're doing it. Mega Zozo 82 afternoon. James thinking Traore out for Foden this week. What do you think? I am all for that move, mate. Matthew Clark, hello, mate. Should I do Richie to Saiz and Rashford to Jesus from -4? I know that seems mental, but I fancy Jesus against Newcastle and I'm a few points outside top 10k. Great rank, Matthew. Need to do something different. Then do it. Then do it. My rank's shit, so what are you here taking advice for from me? Remember, Matthew, what got you to that rank in the first place? Was it by taking the odd chance, going for the odd differential? Do you want to hold it or do you really want to push on? Are you happy where you are? Personally, I wouldn't be for that move, but in the position you're in, if you think there's a differential to be had out of it, do it. And actually, I'm not against the theory at the moment of Jesus. He'll go mental in one of these games left. I'm absolutely certain of it. The only reason he's not on that 10 list for me is because he played 90 minutes on Sunday, and therefore I'm not certain that he starts. That might put you off Matthew in itself. But Guardiola said, I think today, that he's generally going to be playing in that position. He's not going to play all these games. That I think is clear. Or you're going to see him hooked randomly at 55 minutes now and again. I think there's a time to go and buy him if you want to. Today doesn't feel like it's it. It might be, for example, if he doesn't play tonight, that the weekend could be a very good time. I don't hate it. I know everybody's like, oh, Jesus missed 3 big chances at the weekend or something. But at least he was involved and back in a part of the game. You can't play in that team and fail to score goals. Genuinely, you and I would score goals in that team. So all he's got to do is be in the right position and eventually they'll go in the net. And look at them fixtures they've got left. Personally, Matthew, though, I wouldn't. Alex Galbraith says, afternoon, James, do you have bench boost? Sorry I joined late, but sure you've explained why Laporte is on bench. No, I don't. It'd be green in the background. My theory is, and it is literally as simple as this, Alex, I think Man City will keep a clean sheet. But when I look at the outfield players that I've got, I think probably the 3 I've got on the bench are the 3 that are least likely to start out of my 13 outfield players. That's my feeling, and that's why I've made the choice. If I wasn't leaving Laporte out, I'd probably leave Maguire out. And it either way just looks equally as mental either way. Ashley Corner says, hi, Nick George. Who wins in a cage fight? Lloris or Son? Lloris would kill him. Forget all this military stuff that Son's had, right? Lloris will do him over all day. No doubt about it. Hugo's he's got a mental side and he hasn't got fear. Look at the way he rushes out kamikaze sometimes. Yeah, Hugo would take him apart. Sam Atkins, James, thank you very much for the advice. Much appreciated. Really like the podcast. You're very welcome, Sam. Thank you. Ishmael Sire, sorry if I butchered that, mate. Golden or Jimenez? Well, Jimenez is golden, so that'll answer that one for you. Spirit Blues is in. Afternoon, all, mate. Just give you a shout out. Don't know if you heard that, mate. Ishmael's back. Foden or Jimenez? Start, buy. Generally, if I had Foden or Jimenez, I think I'd leave Foden out. But I'm in the minority on that. Martin Heward, all right, James, loving the new graphics. That's a big thanks to my friend FPL Captain with a K. On a bench boost this week, Femenia in for Lascelles gives me Martinez, Femenia, Stevens, McNeil as my bench. Worth it. Simply, Martin, do you think you can get in a better position than that? I suspect probably not. With Femenia being one of them, and it'll be difficult to get away unless you've got value. It's either this week or the weekend. You've got McNeil as one of your bench. Burnley got Liverpool at the weekend. I think pull the trigger, mate. Rona Megan, hello. James, looking at your team, what is your thinking not starting Laporte? Gone through that. Also, with Ben Mee's injury, did you consider starting Martinez ahead of Pope? Nah, I just love trolling the community if Pope clean sheets because everybody seems to get really bitter about it. It was like fucking fireworks went off at about 1:30 on Sunday when Sheffield United scored. It was amusing. Vishwajit Sawant, hi James, just waiting for the Game Week 38 early team news from you. Playing free hit that game week. Don't fucking rely on me, mate. You can rely on Rockstar. I can't promise that I'll get you anything good. Listen, we ain't going to get the team news for everyone. And it's going to be dramatic. I'm sure Rockstar will give us what he can and his best on the day. As, you know, we'll have a look in 20 minutes or so, see if he's got any news for us on Chelsea, for example. But it's a dangerous strategy. My thoughts would be Game Week 38. Pick the team I want and just be prepared to move the Manchester City assets around if necessary because that's going to be the toughest call in terms of who starts and that. Danny McDonald, opinions on Spurs last night, complete snooze fest from my point of view. You want to hear my 10-minute rant on Patreon today. Wasn't quite the fireworks of last Friday's Planet FPL Series 3 episode 53 podcast. But yeah, I battered Everton as well, to be fair. And I don't think any Everton fans would disagree with that analysis. Awful. It's awful. I felt nothing watching the game. I get no pleasure in that. Oh, yeah, we won. Fuck me. Give me my team trying and draw 3-3 every week and play like that. Oh, it's bollocks. I've got years of this to come. So I'll only be repeating myself anyway. Jack Wilson, who would win, Palace or Spurs? Well, you'll find out in game week 38, mate. But to be honest, the way Palace attack, we probably would beat them. Andres Jamesk, one of my newest patrons. Hello, mate. Are you going to change Pope after this game week or just suffer Liverpool and Wolves? Probably going to suffer. Although as it stands at the moment, I might start Martinez at the weekend, actually. Stuart Bell, been working all day. Any injury worries come up? No, nothing confirmed. Doubts around the Newcastle guys seems to be the really thing on that. But what I'd say is, and it's a great piece of advice for anybody who's looking for injury news, go and follow Ben Dinnery on Twitter. He's across all the injuries. Nice short formats of tweets, kind of lets you know if people are unavailable, what the situation is. Quotes from managers. He's a must follow in the community. I'm sure he's got in excess of 100,000 followers now. So at Ben Dinnery is a must. In fact, if anybody's unsure, I'll just pop that in the chat for you now. I've just popped his Twitter handle in there for you. Got to get on Ben Dinnery. He's the best. You can have a look at the injury news while you're watching this if you want. Multitask. Jigs John, hi mate. Decided against Ketting Kane for a hit. Right decision. Yes, absolutely. Aritrava, hello James. Richie, St. Maximin and Rashford out for Dawson. KDB and Greenwood for a -4. Yes or no? Captain KDB. Could be good that if the two Newcastle boys miss out, you know. Could be good. Yeah, I like it. Go for it. Zaris Saka to Foden. Or Martinez to Edison for a City cover. You're a legend. Greek supporting you. You said that last week as well. Cheers, mate. Then about the legend thing. But yeah, I support Greeks as well. Go Foden, mate. Edison's just a boring play, isn't it? Dylan Farrell, what's up, James? Checking in to say, love the draft team. It's good fun so far. I'm not doing bad, am I? They all pissed themselves laughing when I got Bowen and Antonio at the start, but they ain't pissing now. They're like, oh, I want them guys. Hello, Dan, 76 Lord. Afternoon, Dan. Dan is our Liverpool correspondent, FPL Loco Lord. He'll be on our Clash of the Correspondents next Tuesday with Ted at Rotation FPL. We'll be looking in more detail at Liverpool and Chelsea ahead of the game week 36 deadline. Jonathan B, would you captain Kane on a free hit? No. Simple as that. There's nobody who's better than De Bruyne in my eyes this week. It's really as simple as that. I'm sure De Bruyne will flop because it's worth saying I've not got a good record with captaincies very recently. So do take it with a pinch of salt. Phil B, hi mate, transfer Ings out for Greenwood. Yes, I covered that before. I'm not big on it, but I probably would if that's the choice to get Greenwood in, yeah. Mustafa Mohammed, hello James. Should I start DCL or Kiko? DCL, mate. Alex Tyke, hi James. What defensive transfer would you go for going forward with money being no object to partner TAA and Bolly? Robertson, another Wolves, Dean, Asby, or even Mendy has crossed my mind. I know Robertson's played the last two games like he's been on the fucking sauce, but yeah, Robertson for me, mate. Upside is so good when it goes well for Liverpool. Pat Amira, cheers, mate. Appreciate the feedback. You're welcome, Pat. Chris Ewers, back on the Ings or Jimenez question. Mid is currently Salah, Mahrez, KDB, Martial, Bruno. Don't think I'd drop any of them. Other striker is Greenwood. Fuck's sake. Leave Ings out. That's fucking awful, mate. Leave Ings out. You know you're going to be in this problem. You know you're going to be in this problem. All the other guys you've got there in the midfield, I expect them all to start. I mean, you can't leave any of them out anyway. He's leave Ings out, I think. What a recluse. I have no benching headaches. Button, Evans, Lascelles, Hayden. Yeah, but you'll have one once you see the team news, probably, mate. Gary Smith, St. Maximin, short or long term? Neither. He's got a knock. I certainly wouldn't buy. It doesn't mean he won't play, but it's obviously not the right week with Manchester City, etc. So stay off. That's not saying you should necessarily sell. I think if you've got those kind of benching headaches this week, St. Maximin is a good one to leave out, really. Rob Pick, hi mate, my 3 defenders are TAA, Doherty and Bolly, but my other 2 defenders are Lascelles, flagged, and Simpson, flagged. -4 to replace 1 with a playing defender, or just risk no rotation. You should be fine now. You should be fine, mate. Just go with it, pal. He's also given the shout out to FPL Captain on the graphics. Superstar, isn't he? Spirit Blues, don't leave Ings out. Almost always scores against us. That's an Everton fan who's not in a good mood speaking. But the flip side of that, Sean, at Spirit Blues is, and I mentioned this on the Patreon pod today, as shit as you were, and as shit as you can be in some weeks, you don't concede many. And we've not really given Tottenham a proper chance on goal last night. So, defensively is all right, I agree. Holgate's going to be a miss if it's going to be Keane and Mina. But no, I wouldn't be surprised if Everton kept a clean sheet. There's got to be a response from that performance Monday because it was horrific. Dan76, Lord Maguire and Salah. This is our Liverpool correspondent here. For Azpilicueta and Sterling for a -4. Not for me, Dan. And to be honest, Dan, you're a far better FPL player than myself, as your ranks prove. You're flying high at the moment. So go with your gut, but nah, bit more faith in Mo, I think, mate. Peter Randall, hi James, do we think Saka will start? Can't take another 10-pointer first sub. Here's the bad news, Peter. Yes, I do. FPL Andy, cheers James. Going to bench DCL based on the fact he couldn't score against our defence. I mean, not that Everton were ever creating anything, but Jesus. Hamid, Salah and Saka to KDB and Captain America. Is that Mr. Pulisic or Brad Friedel? Nah, not for me. Saka facilitates you money as well, as worth saying. Just think back what I said about game week 35. You might suddenly have that FOMO about Liverpool. Patrick Mays, Foden or Mahrez for me if value's no object. Sheila, start Saiss over Jimenez. No. Gary Baker, hi James, do I bench Doherty, Maguire or Aspi? Oh, Jesus. Aspi on the lack of trust for Chelsea. Is he like to have back-to-back double pointers? Kev KJ, Deeney versus Norwich worth starting question. Torn on benching him or to drop Greenwood Jimenez. Sorry if you already commented on Deeney. I had a work call and just got on. You're okay, Kev? I mean, you've got Deeney at home to the worst team in the league. Is there any alternative? Is there any alternative? But I know Joe's in the chat. Joe Finley Badder was in the chat earlier. He's a Watford fan, and he thought there's half a possibility he might even get left out. It's a big call amongst Watford fans at the moment to leave him out. I don't personally share that opinion, but it's the same. Greenwood Jimenez, I wouldn't leave out. Nah, what's the upside of Deeney? 1 goal? I'd probably leave him out. Gary Smith, we're not doing Champ Man now, but appreciate the sentiment. Bilal, hi James, bench 1 out of Aurea. Doesn't even matter what the other 3 are. Yeah, he's got a clean sheet this week. Yeah, he might get a clean sheet next week. I'm not interested in Spurs assets, mate. Phil B, would you start Foden or Greenwood? Greenwood. Dale, Callum, which one to bench? Aurea. No more Aurea questions, please. I'll have to put something up on the side, wouldn't I? Bench fucking Aurea. Obviously, I'm not saying you should bench Aurea against Bournemouth. He's capable of a clean sheet like he was Monday night. But those guys you're comparing with, I'd leave out. Except for that one, actually, where Dale's got Alonso in there. In which case, then I'd leave Alonso out. So, yeah, leave Alonso out, mate. Go Aurea and Jimenez. Another Hoops, good afternoon. Loving the new additions to the layout. That's FPL Captain on the graphics. Fraser Christie, triple captain KDB at home to Bournemouth. Game week 36, a better option. 3 days before their FA Cup semi-final against Arsenal, which Guardiola has said is their most important domestic game left. The answer to that is no today for me. Ryan Stubbs, still got the free hit. What week would you recommend keep? Changing my mind. Personal circumstance is going to depend very much on what's your team. I'm going to go game week 38 to avoid the Chelsea, Wolves, Leicester, Manchester United games and work around that because I've got 3 Wolves currently and I've got 3 Manchester United. So that's my thinking, is to work around that. So 38 is best for me. Won't necessarily be best for you. It's such a broad question. I can't really answer it. Hulst, Salah and Cantwell for Son and Pulisic. Good transfer. No, do not buy any Spurs players. Very simple. FPL Twiggy, top captain picks for tonight. Games in Sky. Are you bringing anyone in? I'm considering buying Sarr, but his form has not been great. I'm on Ismaila Sarr. I think the best choice for this evening is Aubameyang. Liam H. James, would you rather Spurs not be in Europe next season? No, Liam, I'd rather qualify because we'll fucking bore everyone to tears and we'll win it, mate. It will be awful. And hopefully then he can stick up his middle finger to me and go, yeah, this is one. You know, like when he did, free, respect. There'll be his one trophy. And then hopefully Levy can say, all right, thanks, mate. Get a proper fucking coach in now. FPL Cobbler, worth a -4 to go. Jesus and Cantwell to Ings and Foden. See, look, you got someone else here looking to get Ings in. Who plays instead, Cobbler? That's what you need to decide. Probably not. No. Jeremy Mears. Hi, James. Love your work. I can transfer Ings to Kane. Next question. Edwin Guan. I've already got 3 Man U players. I cannot get Mason. No, that's the rules, mate. Alana Hooker. Hello, Alana. Hi again, James. Love tuning into these streams. Good luck for the game week. Good luck to you too, mate. Francisco Guy. Ings and Ketcher Jimenez on attack and then all the power on midfield. Yeah, a lot of people thinking similar. But you know what they're all thinking? Where's Greenwood? Jermaine Class 3 in the back. Foden is my bench fodder. Jimenez on the bench. Leave him there. Yeah, you'll have heard my opinion. Eric Fordham. Hey, James. I have to start one out of Saka, Femenia and Ketcher. Who would you start? Thanks for the great streams and insight. I'd go Saka, actually. I think. Yeah. Paul Coleman, I'm here. No questions. I'm locked. Playing him at 2. May your arrows be green. Yes, and that goes for everybody. Right, we are 20 minutes out, so I'll start firing through these a little bit quicker. FPL telling Josh, position aside, who would you prefer for the next 3? For Chelsea, Pulisic or Aspi, Pulisic. Alex Hardman, would you start Kiko Femenia over Wolves attacking assets this week? Not sure I trust Watford enough. I probably would start him over others that aren't called Jimenez. So I think him over Traore, actually, I would like. Jermaine Class, hi James, 3 in the back. Foden is my bench fodder. Jimenez on the bench. Leave him there. You've already asked me that, pal. Avies, hi James, keep Son or transfer out. Transfer out, which are 3 best options. As you'll see on the graphic, I obviously could have, I'm rolling. I could have obviously made the move to Mahrez, and it's clear on paper that I think Mahrez is a much better asset this week, but I think it could come round as another problem. Is it right, really, for me to, as much as I'm saying don't buy Spurs, is it right for me to be selling Heung-min Son before playing Bournemouth? The answer there is probably not, and I'll get more power out of the 2 transfers or even 3 transfers from -4 in the next game week, I think. Avi's, hi James, keep Son, done that. Najers will bring on Kiko Femenia for Maguire this week to unlock a possible 3 attacking Man United players next week. Or do you have a better defender for less than 5? No, I don't mind that shout, Femini, and it will actually cover you 35 while you're making the movement as well. 36 have got West Ham, haven't they? It's not the worst fixture. 37, 38, leave him out. You obviously can leave him out 35, 36 as well, depending on what else you've got. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. And he's the way to go for Watford. They play Mariappa at right back on Saturday night. He's not an option now. So whether Femini plays left back or right back, I think it's pretty comfortable in that team. The favoured choice appears to be Femini right back, Messina left back at the moment. I'm not a fan of Messina either, by the way. So I think Femini one way or another, generally speaking, looks like he'll play. But he's made some strange rotation choices, and I can't tell you what Pearson's going to do. We might have some news in 10 minutes or so. So probably leave that quite late as a decision, if you can. Rockstar's your man on Twitter. Andy G, the Golf Pro. Evening, James. What to do with Calvert-Lewin? It's up to you, Andy, if you've got him playing. I wouldn't figure to smash him out against Southampton. Mike Day, would you... Yeah, Jimenez over Gomez. Yeah, generally. There's no upside on Gomez. Flat, clean sheet. Jermaine Class, are you going to keep asking the same questions, mate? Because if you are, guess what happens? You won't get your question answered next week, mate. Mustafa Mohammed, start DCL or Kiko at DCL. Thank you, Wang King. Lau Mampua, just look at the screen, mate, if you want my opinion on captaincy. Not keen on a Rashford triple captain, dammy. Gary Smith says, what's my rank? It's about 280k at the moment. I had about a 20k drop, 854 last game week. Mikey Moles, yeah, look at the screen on the right, for fuck's sake. Thanks, Mikey. Mikey's also telling everyone to like the video if you're enjoying this. He didn't really, I just made it up. S Church, bench Jimenez, Ings or Greenwood. Oh, this is so brutal. Bench, fucking Ings. Ricky Saunders, hello, mate. Hi, pal. Thinking of bringing in Son and Kane? You're not. For Fernandes and Greenwood this week. Here you go. Not really. Just wanted to see the look on your face. Ricky, my Tottenham correspondent on the wind-up. He feels the same as I do about it. Nosbit, gonna win with Manchester attackers. Foden, Bruno, KDB, Mahrez, Greenwood, Rashford. Brilliant. Thanks. Let's stop the analysis comments of ourselves now if we can, guys. So I can try and get through as many questions as possible. 15 minutes to deadline. Chris says, start Henderson or McCarthy. Henderson. 2 clean sheets in a row for Southampton. Yeah, I'll keep smoking that stuff. Zed Zahil, why KDB instead of Fernandes captain? Why not? Like, genuinely. What's your thoughts on getting Foden in for Pulisic? I already have KDB, Mahrez, Fernandes and Martial. Asked Mohamed. Yeah, I'm okay with it, mate. It doesn't feel like the right time to sell Pulisic, though. I keep a little bit of faith on that. And you also don't need to put the question in there 8, 9, 10 times. Do that shit again, you'll get blocked on all, mate. I'm not here for the Mickey Mouse stuff. I'm here to help people. Muhammad Ali, Lord Linden. What do you think is the likelihood of Newcastle shutting out a Man City riot versus a Sun brace against Bournemouth? Bournemouth struggle against wide attackers, but Spurs don't attack well. You've answered that yourself in the question, Mohammed. Matthew Clark, appreciate the advice. No problem, mate. Zed Zahil says, stop bloody spamming, you fool. Auto Recluse. Hugo Lloris, the monk. I mean, love Hugo. What a guy. Pete Haley. Hi, James. I need a defender. I have TAA, Saiz and injured fodder for the third spot. I've got 5.6 million in the bank for a replacement, but I could have more money if I switch Rashford for Greenwood. Do you need more money? There's so many good defensive options right across the board at the moment. If you haven't got 3 United, Wan-Bissaka would probably be who I'd favour on that. Yes, you can all see Harry Maguire's in my team. And I wish I'd gone Maguire when I wildcarded, but you can't have everything in life. It's not worth making the move. Simon Oliverson, you think Foden will start? If so, captain? Yes, I do. No, I wouldn't. Hamad Hamid, Saka and Salah to KDB and Pulisic. Thoughts? Keep Salah, you know. As much as I think KDB's the best shout. I like the balance of that, KDB and Pulisic, but just like anybody who's thinking of getting rid of Salah, please just have a second look at the next game week 35. Liam H says Rockstar already said he has no news. Is that correct? We'll keep an eye on it. But if Rockstar said that, and I don't doubt you for a second, Liam, then that'll be where it's at. But I can't see where he said that, Liam. So we might have something. Mohammed, you don't get any more questions, mate. FPL Twiggy, first on bench, and Ketcher or Stevens? And Ketcher. Paul Coleman, Rockstar tweeted last week would not have team news this week. Oh, did he? Ah, fair game. If he said last week he won't have it, then he won't have it. Good for him. He deserves a break. Fouad says, who to bench, Garcia or Saiz? Garcia. Less likely to play. Jack Brady, start Jimenez or Pulisic? God, Jesus Christ. How do you get yourselves in these positions? I mean, I've given myself some benching headaches, but not any that bad going forward. My goodness. That's brutal. I'd leave out Pulisic. Francisco says, what do you think about Jimenez and Ketcher and Ings on attack? It's fine, mate. Andy Cairns, good luck for the game with you too, Andy. Pete Haley, McCarthy or Martinez? Thanks. I'd pick Martinez, actually. William Jones, hi James, hope you're okay, mate. Would you triple captain KDB this week or would you wait until Bournemouth Norwich? I would do it now. Edwin Guan, I've got Max free from City and United, switching my plans to Laporte and David out for Foden and Asby instead of my Mason plan. All right, nice one, Edwin. Dan Libovitz, may sound stupid, but Jimenez or Giroud? If it sounds stupid, you know the answer, mate. Simon Oliverson, you think Foden will start? If so, captain. We've already covered that, mate. Can we not have the repetitives? I'm trying to get through everyone. Carfrit Rao, Salah and Saka out for Pulisic and Foden for -4. I've answered one very similar to that. Joe says, I'm taking out Jimenez for a player who hasn't scored or assisted this season. Guess who? I'd love to, but I haven't got time. Elliot, I'm triple captain KDB. Better not flop. Good luck. Jeff Holt saying hello, sir. I hope you're well. I am, Jeff. Hope you're doing well yourself. Another Hoops. You seem to be a national hero in Greece. Right, okay. Do share all the love from Greece and let me know where this national heroism's come from. Francisco says, we've had that one. Frode playing Kiko over Saiz. Thoughts? Yeah, it's okay if you like that. Chris Ewers, appreciate the feedback. Liam Pereira, if budget is not a problem. Sterling or Foden? Sterling. Cy Bibbs. Hello, Cy. Hi, James. Top class streaming, my boy. Would you start Martinez or Schmeichs this week? Fuck Schmeichs. Better Casper. I think I'd go Martinez, you know. They're on a run at the moment, aren't they? You know they'll let you down, though. Rohan Jose about clean sheet. Wolverhampton versus Sheffield United. If you ask me for a prediction, that'll be 1-1. That'll make everyone feel better. Dan Loco was saying he's lost faith in Mo. Surely not. We'll have to speak about that next week, mate. Francisco Saka over Nketiah. Yes. Rob Swarbrick. Faith. No. Mo. Good band. 83 NNO. Hi, James. Start 2 out of Foden. Ings Jimenez. Flalani 12. Do we have more faith in a Wolves attack or a Sheffield clean sheet? Wolves attack. Liam H. What do you think about Decore today? Nice differential that. Don't mind that, mate. Jeff Holt holding on to Son for Bournemouth. Then dump. Don't think Spurs will go mad in any of those. Do you? No, that's exactly how I feel, mate. Joe Finney Ballard's going for that guy. Welbs. Yeah, I've said. I think he could be a real difference for you. I mean, I wouldn't buy him for an FPL asset, looking at the value of players at similar price. But Joe, it's your team. You'll enjoy it. Hopefully, good luck. Joe Murphy, who'd start Martinez or Henderson? Got double Wolves defence and playing them. Henderson, I think. S. Ross and afternoon, James. Worth moving Holgate to Bolly. Already have Saiz and VVD. If you're okay with a bench, I'd just give that another week, I think, actually. See how you feel. Pulisic, Holgate could yet start. Everton will be up for it Thursday, as shit as they were yesterday. I'd start Greenwood over Pulisic, says the person with all the numbers. Nigel Mendonca, 45 points off top. Any hope for me? Mega, maybe differentials. Gabriel, Hey, Zeus. Taha A, will you bench Bolly this game week or Jimenez? Have Doherty. Well, I ain't got Bolly, so I ain't going to bench him, mate. But yeah, I wouldn't bench Raul Jimenez. I'd rather sell him. If I'm in a position where I feel like I want to bench him next week, I'll sell him. I don't want to be benching that fella, but that's personal circumstances. Definitely nothing from Rockstar by the looks of it. It's how it's looking at the moment. Stephen Toomey, hello, my man. Hope you're well. It's just Nigel's a fucking moron. I think he's talking about the Watford manager. What no graphics? Starts Yunku or Dendonka? What's the upside of Dendonka, really? All right, I know you got the return against Villa. How often is that going to happen? You're someone who needs a stronger bench. Starts Yunku, mate. Nedge Durds, thanks for the good advice. Good luck, no problem. Paul O'Hare, I've went triple Man City, Foden, Morris, KDB. Good or bad idea? Paul, you've done it. It doesn't matter. Stop regretting something you've already done. 7 minutes to the deadline, guys. I might not get to your questions. Make sure your teams are locked in. I'm also, by the way, because of the graphics, I'm on a 30-second delay as well. So don't rely on me to tell you it's 5 o'clock. Therefore, it could be there's 6 minutes to go. FPL Cobbler, cheers, James. Don't think I will do a -4, but we'll go target to Kiko instead, as long as we don't get any news on him starting. Yeah, I don't mind that. Amber Redmond, bonjour. Are you going to beat Suj this year? Yes, of course, Amber. I always beat Suj. You'll make a mistake, a sloppy one. Ashley Young says Mourinho out. Yeah, sure, Ashley Young was saying that a few years ago as well. You know my opinion on this. Finish says, James, how we doing, buddy? I'm all right, mate. Leia, mate. Start Oreo, Saka. Soren Linnett. Hey, James, just returned after break, and you've probably answered this many times, but what happened to Tottenham? It's now on Patreon at the moment every Wednesdays, and from the new season, probably be on Tuesdays. That's the way we've gone with it. James Morgan. Hi, James. Listen to your podcast weekly. Great work. Alonso replacement question. Money not an issue. Have Trent, Doherty, Lascelles, and Simpson. If money's no issue, back Andrew Robertson. Prafiq says, who is a better option this game week, Patricio or Henderson? Jesus. Toss a coin. Varun goal. Egan or... I think they'll both concede. 1-1. That's my bet for that game. Upside of probably Henderson slightly on saves, maybe. Varun goal. Egan or Saiz? Who do I start, mate? Similar fucking question. Saiz, I think. Nosbit, biggest upset this game week. Villa plus Newcastle clean sheet to blow everyone's bubble. The biggest shock of this game week will be Bournemouth beating Tottenham. Martin, Aurier versus Bournemouth away. I'd never leave Doherty out for a player like that. Not joking. Aritravo, start Jimenez or DCL? Start Jimenez. Mikey Moles, all right, James, really enjoying the podcast. I'm just wondering what you consider a success and overall rank for the season. Well, considering I I triple captain Sadio Mane and it fucking blew up in my face quite badly. And I was at the restart of about 880k. To be 600 places better off, I'm already happy with the finish. So it's gone a lot better than I could have anticipated. In terms of what a good finish is now, that's really dependent on who you ask. To be honest, the dream was kind of always, people say top 50k is an amazing rank. And it is, by the way, because it's getting harder. It really depends how you are. You're a new player, experienced player. If I said to Adam Hotcroft, for example, you're going to finish 99,000, he'd probably be like, that's not really what I'm looking for, James. But I'd be really happy with that this season, for example. And I would have been at the start of the season. So I think inside's top 100k now is brilliant, generally. It's going to get harder. There's more information out there. There's more dickheads like me doing stuff like this to try and help people. So it's getting harder. Paul O'Hare, Ryan or Henderson? Henderson, surely, right? Brighton playing Liverpool, no? It's got to be Henderson. YXL Trev, Jota or DCL? DCL. William Jones, Pope or Martinez in goal this week, James? Good luck this game week. William, have a look at my team on the graphic. I've gone with Pope, mate. Benjamin Miller, morning, James. Do love those headphones. Thanks, Ben. I love you too, mate. I hope everything's well in America. Matthew Ad Shed took McCarthy out for David De Gea for a hit last week. Still shook. You'll get a clean sheet off him this week, I think, Matthew. Benjamin Miller saying, get on Patreon chats. Don't you know it, Ben? Paul O'Hare, first time watching this. What a great podcast. Straight to the point. Great content. Paul, it's too little time to the deadline. There's really no point in me fucking about and I'm in an R-in. All I'll do is give my straight opinion. And there's no way that I've got every single opinion here correct. It's just my opinion. Ray Qureshi, best time to use bench boost after this week, James. Cheers as always. I cannot possibly answer that, Ray, without knowing what's in your squad. And just no way. There's no way I can possibly answer that. We talked about manoeuvring things earlier where someone had Dwight McNeil and the best options based on what they had with their bench was probably game week 34 or game week 35, but McNeil's got Liverpool in 35, so today would be the right day to pull the trigger. Who's the 4 worst players in your squad? When's the best week to do it? Because really, the guys that are fucking about on your bench now, just leave it. There's not enough game weeks left. That's my opinion. Richard Benson, Marnie out for De Bruyne, captain on a free. Oh, so against selling them guys. That's why I didn't get them. I think do it, Richard. Yeah, I think do it. Craig Fleming, De Gea or Patricio? If I bring in Patricio, can get in Greenwood next week for no hit. You've already answered the question there, Craig. Maneuver. Heisenberg tweet for team news. Has he got something? Has the old Heisenberg? Quite a reliable source, FPL Heisenberg. He's someone I've followed for quite a while. He's got a good following on Twitter. He's saying 100% accurate, trusted source. We'll just focus on the Chelsea team. That does look pretty legit. Kepa, Christensen, Barkley, Williams, Zuma, Giroud, Mount, Pulisic, James, Azpilicueta, Gilmore. There's like a minute to the deadline. That's why I've said that very quickly. So James at right back, Azpilicueta at left back, Gilmore starts in place of Kante injured, Giroud up front again, Pulisic plays. That's what matters most. Van Aanholt plays for Palace, Zaha, Jordan Ayew does play if they're the ones that matter. Troy Deeney does play for Watford. Femania is in the Watford team. So too Ismaila Sarr. Kabasele's in. Decore's in. Danny Welbeck does play for Watford. Pookie is in for Norwich. Cantwell, I heard, might well be out for the rest of the season, actually. So those are your basic team news. Once we've gone past 5 o'clock, I'll go through all those team news in a little bit more detail and just give you some thoughts on them once we've got them properly. I love you too, Joe. B. Conway, bench one of Foden, Greenwood, Jimenez, Foden, Nosbit, Heisenberg, no tweet. I reckon he probably is. I don't know that 100% on Heisenberg. He's someone I've followed for a very long time. And if he's got it, he'll know the implications of putting that wrong. So I would trust him. And there's not enough news there to make you think anything scandalous either. Mikey2908, thoughts on Antonio. Just brought him in my team this week. Apologies if mentioned in recent podcasts. Haven't got round to listening yet. Absolutely fine with that, Mikey. Yeah, decent time to target West Ham. I would have personally had a preferential for Bowen pre the weekend. Now I wouldn't have a preferential for either between Antonio and Bowen because I've got a fear Bowen may end up going to the left. I think his output will be better from the right, personally. Mark Dam says, just done Mane to Sterling. Time to try and attack the ranks a little. That's fine, mate. Good luck. Ray says, cheer James, tagged you in a tweet regarding my bench. I will have a look when I can, Ray. Mohamed Radi, Oriel Doherty, one to bench. This is what happens when people come late, right? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's now gone 5 o'clock. Oriel, if you're still there thinking about it. Benjamin Miller, the graphics look excellent. James, that's my man, FPL captain. The guys who watch the Champ Man FPL streams be familiar with these. I like it. You could roll through some of the correspondent teams as well in the future. I'm sure Captain will know better than me. The thing we've done with this one, Ben, at the moment is it's a lot of work for Captain to do it in advance. And obviously the Champ Man, where we're updating in terms of goals and stuff, works really well. We wanted to have something where it was just left there and people could have a look. And I really wanted, which has worked, I think, as well, where if people were having that debate of sort of Mahrez or Mane captain, hopefully they could use the graphic to have a look and they'll then know my opinion without having the need to ask the question. That's how it's been generally. FPO Andy saying good luck. Another Hoop saying deadline. Good luck, everyone. 83NN0. Thanks, James. No problem. So let's have a look at these confirmed teams before we close down the stream. Obviously, your teams will be locked in, guys. There's no point stressing about it. Whatever decisions you've made, you've hopefully made for the benefit of your own teams. Let's have a look at Palace v Chelsea first. So Palace are Gator in goal. Dan is back in with Cahill at centre-half. Ward and Van Aanholt, the full-backs. I mean, I felt sorry for Sacco that he had the fuck up against Leicester at the weekend, and I didn't understand that Cahill and Dan had the 4 clean sheets together before the Liverpool game, and then he brought Sacco back in for that. Didn't really make any sense. Milivojevic, Kayati, MacArthur in midfield, just about as expected. Zaha, Benteke, Ayew, the front 3. Andros Townsend amongst the subs, so to Max Myers. Nothing really to speak of there on Palace, other than Scott Dan starting at centre-half might be of interest to a few. The Chelsea team that Heisenberg looks like he has, I think, unless I've read it wrong, looks to be correct. So it's Kepa, Azpilicueta, Christensen, Zuma, James. We presume Azpilicueta at left back. The midfield 3 is Mount, Gilmore and Barkley. William, Giroud, Pulisic are the front 3. On the bench, Caballero, Rudiger, Alonso, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, Pedro, Hudson-Odoi on the bench, Batshuayi on the bench, and so too Tammy Abraham. I think with the fixtures Chelsea have got, you're going to see some rotation. The FA Cup so far is going to be big for them as well. I think they'll go full strength this one, which they have. I think at the moment, Lampard seems to be favouring Barkley. And I think they probably will against Sheffield United on, that's the 5:30 game Saturday, I think. And then against Norwich, I think you might see a few dipped in and out. It's going to be, again, you'll be lucky that you'll get the team news. I'll do a stream at 7:15 next Tuesday night. That's the first game, Chelsea-Norwich at 8:15. And hopefully we'll get the Chelsea team, but I think Pulisic would be a nervous one for that. Would definitely be a nervous one. And let's just, before we finish, have a look at the Watford and Norwich lineups. So the 2 changes for Watford, Mariappa and Shalabar replaced by Messina and Welbeck. So I'd say it's good news for those who've got Feminine as well at right back. You've got more chance for an attacking output at right back. Dawson, Kabasele centre half, Foster in goal, Messina at left back. Midfield looks much better. Capoue and Hughes, they were having a good relationship there together when Watford started having a run of good results back in the late winter. And Decore ahead of that. Sarr on the right, Welbeck on the left, Deeney up front. I think that's probably their best available lineup. You could make a case that perhaps Cathcart would possibly be a better choice than Kabasele at centre-half, but I think that's personal preference. Otherwise, that's probably the strongest team. They've done the opposite of what some other teams might do against Norwich, and I think Watford have looked at it and went, have to win. Don't cut corners. And I think that's their strongest side. For Norwich, as we thought, would obviously be no Pookie in the lineup. As I said, I was suspected that his season might be over. 3 changes for Norwich. McLean, Duda and Dermich make way. Vrancic, Steeperman and Pookie come in. So it's Krul, back 4 of Aarons, Godfrey, Close, Lewis. They haven't got anyone else available, to be fair. Teti, Vrancic, Buendia as a rest start for Steeperman. Onel Hernandez plays again. I think Steeperman will play in the 10 position. He's quite an elegant player, but he's not really had much of a look in the Premier League this year. He was the one, when I watched him at the end of the Championship last year, he was the one I really thought might do well, and that's been proven to be completely incorrect. And Buendia, if those who listen to Clash of the Correspondents this morning, if you want a really good build up to the game, it's on YouTube as well. Released it as an audio this morning. FPL Badger and FIA_FPL Addict, our West Ham Norwich correspondents, looking at the games for this game week and their meeting against each other in game week 35. That's a really good listen. It's on YouTube. It's available on the podcast platforms as well. That's team lineups. So we'll just have a little go through the comments. Pete Brown, and I'm happy to answer this now, just joined Pulisic or Willian for Sky. That's a really close one, mate. I'll be honest, Pete, I've not looked into Willian in enough detail in terms of if he ever picks up any kind of tackle bonus or anything like that. My instinct would probably be, actually, because of Palace, very strangely, if it's a captain choice for today, I'd probably lean to Willian. If it's a choice of one to buy, I'd probably lean to Pulisic. But if it's a buy and you haven't got other coverage tonight, I'd leave it. What I've decided with Chelsea for next Tuesday is I want to see the team against Norwich before I make the decision. So I just think, like, if you get Pulisic now or something, he's not playing against Norwich, it's going to feel like a waste. So I'm literally going in next Tuesday, bang, hammer it once I've seen the team, and then bang, back out again. That's my strategy, which will go over on our Sky podcast, which we'll be recording in tomorrow morning. And we'll hopefully have it out by lunchtime. Frode saying good luck, all good luck, Frode. Brad Lewington, big Chelsea FA tonight. Fuck Palace. Brad Lewington is a Brighton fan. Doesn't like Crystal Palace. Frode, a great stream. Thanks. No problem, mate. For those who've liked the stream, give it a like on your way out. Adam Melcher says, great work with all the questions, mate. Where is Kante? Not that I've him, though, but still important for a clean sheet. Picked up a knock at the weekend, so it was always unlikely to play this evening. I expect we'll get further confirmation from Lampard over the next 3-4 hours in terms of whether his season's over or not. If his season's over, it'd be a blow, by the way, because although I don't think he's best suited to the way they're playing at the moment, and N'Golo Kante can offer things in certain games. I'm thinking United in the semi-final, Liverpool in game week 37, that not many of their other players can. Ray says, locked in, decided to start Dominic Calvert-Lewin over Jimenez. I'm bricking it. I would be too, mate, but good luck. FPL Twiggy, I'm going Welbeck in Sky. That's fine, Twiggy, good luck. Frodo, why is Tammy in the icebox? Because Giroud just brings the other players into the game so much better. It's as simple as that. Avi says, Hyson was right. I suspected he would be. For him to tweet that late, he knows the risk of that being wrong. And he's not that character. I've known him on Twitter for quite a while. Good fella. We've had a few interactions. So I'm absolutely not surprised that it was spot on. He's managed to get hold of something today from a source. So fair dues to him. Ben Ayew took a hit to bring in Aurea for the Bournemouth fixture this week. Any thoughts? Good night, everybody. In the words of Patrice Evra, I love this game. Remaining content this week for patrons. You've obviously had the game week preview, which is gone, but we did cover Tottenham and Everton and that this morning with a great Q&A, which went out for you Monday. I'm doing my Ask James. It's not going to be public this week. It's going to be a private for patrons, and I'll explain why in a moment. That's going to be a one-off. It will return to public next week. I'm going to do it as a private for my patrons this week because I'll be honest, it's something more important we want to put out to the public. Thursday for patrons, we've got an A to Z quiz on Liverpool. There's 26 questions. Each answer starts with a different letter from the alphabet. Every question surrounds Liverpool, historically, a lot current, a lot through the Premier League years, and a little bit from further stuff. If you're a Liverpool fan, you'll really, really enjoy that. And they're not all positive Liverpool questions, by the way. There are some who beat Liverpool. And Friday on Patreon, we'll do obviously the preview again for game week 35. In terms of your regular content, between now and the deadline, I would recommend catching up with Clash of the Correspondents, and we'll certainly help you with your eye test if you're intending to watch the Watford Norwich game this evening. Tomorrow we'll have Sky. Thursday, a Planet FPL special. For those who really enjoyed the stuff we've done in the past on Bury, Man City's Champions League ban, racism in football, we're going to do something which we're going to record late tomorrow and release on Thursday on the current crisis at Wigan Athletic and their administration. It's a really important one. It's going to link into financial problems in the Championship as well for supporters of those clubs. It's bad. It's really bad. Suj has done the numbers, and you know when Suj does the numbers, I let him take over, and he'll put in a top performance for that on Thursday. And then Friday, we'll have a full game week review. Looking ahead to game week 35, we'll go over all 10 games. We'll record that first thing Friday morning, get it out to you as quick as possible on Friday. That will be Series 3, Episode 55, I think. Other than that, good luck this game week, guys. Much appreciate your time this afternoon. Let's go and watch some football. Ciao for now. Good luck, everyone.